So this week I wanted to dive into some of the entertainment areas in Bangalore. This is Church Street, similar to what you think of as Hennepin Ave or something downtown, where all the bars and nightclubs are located. Apparently this is where everybody comes for entertainment in Bangalore. It's definitely more of a middle to upper class type of area. I was really surprised to see a Ruby Tuesday located here. Me and the group from work went to a bowling alley. I bowled probably the worst game of my life. I think I got a 57. But great bowling alley, food, drinks served, a lot of music, a lot of younger crowd. Had a great time there. And later on I went over to UB City. This is actually some footage I shot earlier in my trip when I went here during the day. It's probably the closest thing I could see to Las Vegas. It was the ritziest mall in the city. Definitely higher class people shop here. There's no cheap stores here whatsoever. I came back at night and went up to the plaza where they had all of the nice high-end restaurants, fountains, music playing, lots of people dressed really nicely, going out for a night out. I stopped off at a restaurant called Shiro, which is Japanese Asian cuisine. Again, very similar to like a Las Vegas feel, where everything was really decked out over the top. And when I went and sat down at the sushi bar, it was really more like a bar, and everything's top shelf alcohol. It's another thing I'm finding, that at places like this, alcohol is a little bit more common. As I was expecting, I had some of the best sushi I've probably ever eaten here, flown in daily from the seas of northern India. Just really, really delicious. On the 16th floor of UB City is Sky, and $50 cover charge, so we're not messing around now. I was able to talk the bouncer into letting me in for free because I said I wouldn't be drinking, I'd just be going in for about 10 minutes. This place was fantastic. The kind of place I would take somebody to impress, and filled with the kind of people that you would expect would be able to afford a $50 cover charge on top of drinks. Again, I didn't hang out here very long. I was by myself, and I felt a little bit uneasy even taking pictures up here, so that's all I've got for this spot. So I'd mentioned before the Cricket World Cup was going on, and I didn't even mention this, but when I was at the zoo, I did have a chance to meet Brett Lee, who's a famous Australian cricket player. I thought it was kind of neat, but I didn't think anything of it until I went to this lounge with some people from work and saw the India versus Australia cricket match, and there's Brett Lee getting nailed with a cricket ball right in the face towards the end of the game. And actually Brett was the one that threw the losing pitch for Australia, the winning pitch for India, and here was the crowd's applause. So I was planning to go to some of those nightclubs on Church Street. Unfortunately, I got sick on Saturday and it knocked me out for the whole day. So additional entertainment venues to come in the later video. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If you're a fan of caffeine, you're not going to like the coffee out in India. It's more like chocolate milk, and here's how we typically make it here at work. You take a cup, you fill it with a couple spoonfuls of sugar, and then you kind of pour this black tar into the cup, which is called coffee decoction. You fill it about with 2 shots full of that stuff, and then you fill it up to the top with milk. Now, I really thought that even if I just drank that black tar purely, then I'd get a caffeine buzz, but really there's hardly any caffeine in the coffee out here. And what I found out also, even though carbonated beverages say that it contains caffeine, I'm finding that it actually contains much less caffeine than the same drinks in America. Vasu, who you met in the last video, is getting married a week after I leave India, and his marriage is arranged. Arranged marriages are very common in India, and something I wanted to talk about just briefly because I found it so interesting. So according to Vasu, here's how it happened. Both the guys and girls' families discuss whether or not they would be a good match for each other, and then the guy and girl meet and decide whether or not they would like to get married to each other. Both the guy and the girl have a say. If agreed upon, then They don't date. They can talk on the phone, but they can. That's really all the communication they have until they get married several months later. And the wedding has anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people invited. There's food and music, and the wedding lasts for 2 whole days. Okay, so again, sorry about not having a lot of content again due to illness. Next week I'll be going to the Taj Mahal, Delhi. Should have a lot of great things to show you. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.